How are you? I'm back. I'm back again. You can't get rid of me. I'm back. I'm here. Kaya is here. I left the door open for her in case she wanted to come in and join. So she might have some opinions. She might not. She might just want to listen. But I'll leave the door open for little Miss Kaya in case she changes her mind. But have some more stories here today. Let me introduce myself. I suck at that. I'm Ashley, and this is Funnily Enough. And the theme that I have today is workplace holiday chaos. Holidays can be very fun and exciting, but it can also come with a lot of drama, especially drama in the workplace. And not that I would know since I no longer have employment, but that doesn't mean that I can't talk about other people's workplace drama. So let's go ahead and get started. So, first story is coming from Am I the Asshole? It is about 23 days old from the time that I pulled this, and it is from user Living in Wonderland. So, Living in Wonderland writes, Need advice. Would I be in the wrong for refusing to work on Christmas? I guess we'll see. For context, I made it clear to my boss upon hiring that I am unable to work Christmas. I was hired June of this year. Holiday availability was one of his first questions for me, and I told him that I can 100% work Thanksgiving and New Year's Day, but can definitely not do Christmas. He had no problem with this and said each employee is only required to sign up for 2 holidays, so that would work fine. However, Christmas time is coming up and it's suddenly an issue. There are only 2 morning shift workers at my job, myself and another girl. We both want Christmas off, and now he says we either have to come to an agreement or split the 8-hour shift into 4 hours each. Am I wrong for being furious at this? I've made it clear since hiring that I am not okay working this day and already bought a flight. I'm considering quitting if he won't honor his original agreement with me. So, given all of that, I don't know, but I'm inclined to say if not working on Christmas is that important to you, and if you already feel like you're inclined to quit if he won't honor the agreement, I would kind of lean on that. If you have the flexibility, if you have the ability right now to not work, you can leave this job and you can afford to be in between jobs right now. I mean, in this economy, it's kind of scary to just quit without anything. But if for whatever reason you have enough cushion, you have the support, you're living with a partner who's able to help you financially, you're maybe still living at home with your parents, you don't have to pay rent or something like that, and you can afford to not work, then this could potentially be an instance where you just quit your job. I wouldn't jump right to that. I would bring it up with your boss again and say, hey, listen, it is incredibly important to me that I have this day off. I told you already when I was hired that I wanted to have this day off. I told you that I could work on Thanksgiving and I told you that I could work on New Year's, and you said that that was perfectly fine. Now that Christmas is coming up, you have a problem and you need me and this girl to fight to the death for how many hours we're each going to work on that day. That's just not it. That's just not the move. I think managers forget that people have lives and they have things to do. They make plans, they have commitments, and they just expect that you're able to just work all of the time. And if you are able to quit your job, if he is not reasonable after you have another conversation with him expressing how important it is that you don't work on this day, then maybe you do quit. Again, I wouldn't just quit. I would try to sit him down again and tell him it is very important that I don't work on this day. I really need this day off and I requested it off months ago. And if he's not going to abide by that, then I guess it's a bye-bye. Um, he needs you more than you need him. It's going to take him time to now rehire someone and train someone and all of this stuff. So if he's willing to let you go over this, then. And where are you working that you need to work on Christmas? Why? Are you working in retail? Maybe that's it. Maybe you're working in retail. I'm sorry that you even have to have this conversation and work on Christmas. Let's see the top comments. So, top comments, are you kidding? Not the asshole. Second comment, are you a retail worker? Why can't the coworker take the shift? How busy will the business be on Christmas Day? I know it's unfair, but short of quitting, I think you may be stuck. OP responds, I'm a front desk worker at a hotel. As of right now, we only have 2 reservations booked for Christmas Day. Coworker wants to spend time with family, same as do I. Boss won't work for the same reason. There you go. He doesn't want to work because he wants to be with his family, but he wants you guys to each split the day and work, or somebody has to sacrifice their whole like 9 to 5 to work. You know what? I honestly, if you can afford it, run away. That is my answer to a lot of these. Run away. But I mean, you brought it up. You said that you would be willing to quit and that this guy really wants you to work and you just really, really don't. And it's that important to you, then you really might just have to, because who the hell wants to work on Christmas? Who? No. Editing Ashley here. Of course, I'm not a fool, and I do know that there are plenty of people who have to work on Thanksgiving, Christmas, the holidays, etc. Police officers and hospital workers and retail workers, sadly. I know, of course, there are tons of people who do have to work on holidays. But my point here is a lot of people would obviously opt to not work on holidays if given the option, and specifically if they had told their boss months and months and months in advance that they could not work on a specific holiday. So, but thank you to your service for those of you who do work on holidays. Last comment I'll read. I would usually not tell anyone to do this, but under normal circumstances, I think it would be unethical. In your case, if this is a retail job, I would start looking for a new one at a place that is closed on Christmas. As soon as you get one, quit and go to the new job. Screw them. Their refusal/inability to adequately staff the store is not your emergency. Yep, I think that that's maybe a nice middle ground. If you don't want to necessarily quit right now, you could potentially just start looking and hopefully see if you're able to find something else before Christmas, and you can start this new job after the Christmas break. Because I'm not a fan of just quitting a job with no backup plan. If you can help it, it's nice to have that safety net for sure. But if that's not really an option for you, and if you really mean it, if you really mean that you would quit, then girl, run away. So this next story is coming from Am I the Asshole? It is coming from user No Paramedic 2039. It's about a year old. And the story is titled Half Day at Work Around the Holidays. So, I'm a business owner, and over the last few years, I'm getting more pushback from employees regarding getting extra time off around the holidays. Christmas Eve is always a half-day work schedule, and of course, everyone has Thanksgiving, Christmas Day, and New Year's Day off. That's where it ends for me. Am I the asshole for insisting that the day before and after Thanksgiving, as well as New Year's Eve, are full work days? If someone wants to take those days off, then it's fine with me and they can take PTO. I'm running a business and not creating another paid holiday, which reduces my business income. Addendum. I'm a physician in a large medical group and have 70 employees. To be fair, While I use the term employee, the workers are technically employed by a large health system with which the physicians have a contracting agreement. In other words, I don't pay their salary, but they work according to the schedule set in our medical office. I'm well aware of what goes on in other offices, and in all honesty, we treat our employees quite well. They get a small bonus from the health system with which they work for, but the physicians also give a generous bonus to all employees at holiday time to express our thanks for their hard work. A few of the exceptionally valued, productive, and pleasant employees get an even more generous bonus. Interesting. I have been fortunate that in my three last jobs, when it came to the holidays, there was a lot of flexibility around the holidays and the days before and after holidays. For example, I pretty much worked a half day on the day before Thanksgiving. I either had Black Friday off the day after Thanksgiving, or I would work like a half day or something. My two last jobs gave us the whole week off. My previous job, it was a paid week off, and the job that I had before that, it was unpaid, but it was still a whole week off that we all had. You could opt to use your PTO to be paid during that time frame if you wanted to. So I had some kind of flexibility where I didn't just have just Thanksgiving off and I had to go right back to work, or just Christmas off and I had to go right back to work. It really depends on you and what you're willing to sacrifice for your employees, I guess. If you feel like you have a team of really strong, dedicated workers, they're loyal to you, they work hard for you, you're a physician in a large office, so I'm assuming the people that you employ are your receptionists, the nurses, maybe other physicians under you or nurses in training. If these people are super dedicated to their work and to your office and to the patients, and they're giving the patients a pleasant experience, then I don't know. If I was a business owner, I would be so inclined as to have less business income and give them an extra half day off. I think it's so important to give your employees time off to rest and reset and recharge, especially around the holidays. So, if giving people, a half day off before Thanksgiving and a half day off on Christmas Eve, if that's just too much and you just can't afford to do that, then I just don't really know if you should have your own business. I don't know. I just really feel like valuing the people that work for you pays for itself tenfold. When you really care about the people that you employ and they feel that, they work harder for you. They want to stay. They don't want to just like quit the second that they're upset or annoyed. They actually want to be there. So if these people are asking for a couple of extra half days a year, two extra half days a year, you can afford to pay out one extra holiday for your employees. It's too much business income that you're losing. I wouldn't want to work for you. I wouldn't want to work for you. I'm not saying that you need to give people a half day every month or something like that. Every single holiday needs a half day before it. But come on, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, a lot of companies that I have worked for or have seen the details of their benefits offer half days, or just an extra day off, especially for those end of the year holidays. So I think give it to them. I think you're kind of the asshole. Give them the day off. Give these hardworking nurses a day off. Come on. Okay, top comments. Yes, you're the asshole for being cheap and not caring about keeping good employees happy. Not the asshole. The days before and after holidays aren't holidays. Adults need to act like adults instead of children. That's what PTO is for. Ooh. Most workplaces don't close on those holidays and fully expect staff to work an entire shift. So I don't know why people think you're the asshole when you're being more flexible than the average employer. Yikes. That person sounds like a workaholic, maybe. You're the asshole. Please remember your employees have lives outside of work. The holidays can be really important to people. Again, I'm not saying that every single holiday you should grant a half day before. I don't think there should be a half day before the 4th of July and Memorial Day and Labor Day. I don't think that you need to do that. I think that those end of the year holidays specifically are really important to people. I think, especially as a physician working in healthcare and caring about people's well being, you should care about your staff's well being and just give them that extra day. Give it to them, give it to the people. Okay, next story. This is coming from Am I the Asshole? This is coming from user QuickTrip5543. And the story is titled, Am I the Asshole for Paying for Work Christmas Dinner? Interesting. Are you the boss? Are you not the boss? Sounds like maybe you're not. Why are you paying? Let's read and find out. There was no Christmas or holiday event sponsored by work this year. No party, nor bonus, nor dinner. I am grateful to continue to have a job at a Fortune 500 company, but would like to celebrate the holidays in some capacity and with my colleagues. My manager did not arrange for a local team dinner, so I arranged it. It's very generous. We had a Christmas dinner the prior year, and I took initiative this time around. Dinner for our group of 8 included spouses who attended. It was made clear to all attendees that this was not a company-sponsored event. We received the bill for approximately $300. $300 for 8 people? Wait, is that okay? That's 8 people, including spouses. So I guess that's 4, maybe 4. If everybody brought their spouse, that's 4 team members and 4 spouses. So 8 people for $300, including tax and tip. Oh wow, that's really not bad. That's really not bad. Anyway, more than reasonable for a group of 8 in my opinion. My manager then begins to split up the bill and began itemizing. For context, my manager and his wife both worked there and easily cleared $350K combined. For the busy server's sake and holiday spirit, I decided to treat my colleagues and pick up the full tab. The team accepted and appreciated it, with a bit of an awkward stir as there were assumptions that our manager might have stepped in to treat us for our one and only team dinner of the year. I feel the shift in my conversations and environment with my manager now. I have not spoken to him about it directly yet, being pretty wrapped up with new projects in the new year. Am I the asshole for trying to provide a generous gesture for my colleagues? Was this a petty or insubordinate move in paying for my team's holiday dinner when my manager wouldn't? Oh my God. Your manager. Oh my God. Your manager and his wife, who are making $350K a year combined, presumably, were nitpicking a $300 bill for 8 people. They were nitpicking so much that you took it upon yourself to be like, fuck it, I'll pay. And now he wants to make it awkward for you. Oh. I cannot. That is shameful. That is honestly shameful that your boss cannot find it in himself to just pay for a single $300 team dinner for like his team. You are not the asshole. Your boss sucks. And that's all there is to say about that. Your boss is a cheaperson, and I you rock. I think it's super awkward and super weird and super greedy, and it's fucking weird that he would just not pay for this dinner. That is very sad. That's a very pathetic behavior. Let's read some comments. Top comments. Not the asshole. If your manager feels embarrassed that you paid for it all and not him, that's his problem. He should have offered to pay first, and if he still feels guilty, he can pay you back. Don't push it though. You did the right thing. Don't feel guilty. I agree. Don't feel guilty. Your boss should feel guilty, and your boss should feel like a fucking loser because he is. He is. Next comment. Nah, mate, you're not the asshole. You were just trying to bring the team together and spread some holiday cheer, especially when there was no company celebration. Your manager might have felt a bit awkward or like they should have stepped up, but you weren't being petty or disrespectful. If anything, you showed generosity. You did. And that's what the holidays are supposed to be all about, right? It's supposed to be about generosity and bringing people together and being grateful for what you have. And if you had the $300 to spend to cover dinner for your team, that's wonderful. That's a beautiful, wonderful thing. And if your manager feels awkward about it because he couldn't step up to pay it, then let him simmer in his awkward loser behavior because it's pathetic. It is so pathetic. You're not the asshole. All right. So, last story here. This is also coming from Am I the Asshole? This is about 2 years old. It is from user Femintar. Or is it F Mintar? Femintar? Femintar1. Oh, Kaya, hi. Do you want to see the story? Do you have any thoughts about the boss? Oh, Kaya. I think she thinks the boss is also pathetic. But let's read the last story, okay? Am I the asshole for wanting to celebrate Diwali holiday without my coworker? I, 34 male, have recently started working with a new company at the same time my coworker Greg started. We both Yes. We both were placed under the same team and our skills are pretty much on the same level. So we are helping each other out as much as we could to be more productive. Because of that, we became friends. Last Friday, our company announces that they are celebrating Diwali with potluck style and asked anyone that wants to participate to bring their favorite food. I'm not Indian, but the majority of the folks that work in the office are, so it is a big celebration for them. Since I'm new, I wanted to get to know other people and I see this opportunity to network. I asked Greg if he's thinking of participating in the event. He initially thought of this as a great idea and even debated of what he can bring for the party while I share my ideas as well. This afternoon, I decided what to bring and I started preparing it. In the meantime, I also asked Greg if he's ready for tomorrow's potluck, but suddenly he said he's not participating. When I asked why, he just told me that he doesn't have the time over the weekend to prepare. Then he suddenly asked me if I'm still going to the event, and I said yes. In fact, I told him that I'm about to finish my preparation. Suddenly, he was upset at me, telling me that I'm a butthole. I wonder if he used butthole. Speaking of butthole, Kaya. Suddenly, he was upset at me, telling me that I'm a butthole for trying to brown nose the company and trying to move forward without him. I told him that I'm not trying to brown nose anyone, that I just wanted to celebrate this event because I think it's fun and in the meantime, just want to get to know other people. I don't see anything wrong with a little networking. However, he refused to believe my excuse and blocked me from texting him. Am I the asshole? Should I rethink my decision to participate in the event? No. And fuck Greg. You're not the asshole. Greg is a baby. Greg is a baby infant child who's having a hissy fit because he doesn't want to participate anymore for whatever stupid, lazy reason, probably. And now he's like, oh, now my coworker is going to look better than me for bringing something and I didn't. You can make friends with other people at that job. You don't have to be friends with Greg. Not every colleague has to be your buddy. Not every colleague has to be your friend. If Greg blocked you, so be it. I think the only way that this is going to be a problem for you is if down the line you have project work and Greg is blocking you from finishing your work for whatever reason. If he's like refusing to email you back for work related reasons, then you bring that up to management and you can get Greg disciplined in some degree for not wanting to just cooperate on work stuff. But if Greg doesn't want to be your friend, so be it. Bye, Greg. Bye. No, absolutely not. Let's go to the top comments. So the first top comment here, who died and made Greg the boss of you? Not the asshole. Ignore him and go to the party. If he wants to sit alone in his apartment with his thumb up his ass, that's his prerogative. You don't just have to go along with it because he said so. Next comment, not the asshole. He decided not to attend, but has no reason to be upset if you do. Another comment, of course, if he wants to change his plans, that's his prerogative, but shaming you for sticking with your original intention, that's messed up. We should be asking the question of whether your coworker is the jerk, not you. You're way in the clear. Yeah, Greg sucks. Greg is crazy. He's out of his mind. Greg needs to go take a hike because he agreed to participate in this with you. You guys were all in it together. It was going to be a good old time. And then he says no for whatever reason. And now he's mad that you're still going to do it. Sorry, you and Greg aren't conjoined twins. You and Greg don't have to be best friends. You and Greg can just be work colleagues and he can just be angry and bitter by himself. Bring your dish or your contribution, whatever it is. If it's food, I bet it will be delicious. It's a potluck. I'm assuming it's food. So I'm sure everyone's going to have a good time and Greg can go kick rocks. But yeah, that's it for today. Today is short, little stories today. Right, Kaya? Kaya, come here. Come here. Say bye to the people. Come here. Well, thank you so much for listening. So appreciate you being here. Kai appreciates it too. Oh my God. Thank you again. I really appreciate it. If you liked this, like it, share, subscribe, follow. That's Kaya's butt. And I can't wait to see you next time. Maybe she wants to go for a walk. Maybe that's what this is all about. Okay, I have to go. My warden is calling me. Bye-bye. Bye.